Woof. All right, lads. 2 days in a row. 2 back-to-back videos. What's going on here? Well, you guys know it has to be something special that brings me out to make 2 videos in one day. Yesterday, it was the match reaction to Inter's friendly. And today, ooh la la. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Un petit pois. Je ne sais quoi. It's the Manu Kone news that has brought me out to make this video for you guys. The breaking news that Inter are interested and in negotiations with Roma and the player to sign him. So that is the topic of the video today. You guys know what to do. Leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And you guys know that I wouldn't make a video on this without multiple sources reporting this. And let me show you before we dive into it. If there's one source or even 2 sources, usually I'm very skeptical. I am with you guys with the skepticism when it comes to transfer window. I am one of those people, one of those Scrooges when it comes to the transfer market. Don't believe everything you read. I usually compile a list of all the players that Inter are linked to every summer just to show people how much lies are spread or just rumors are spread throughout the transfer window to sell papers or to generate clickbaits. But when there are multiple different sources from different countries saying the same thing, that points to the news being true. And in this case, Sky Sport Italia, Di Marzio, we know it's supposed to be a top tier source, but these days we're not 100% sure. But they are saying Inter are considering a change of strategy following a stalemate with Atalanta for Lookman. We know that. We know all about that, don't we? And now considering the Roma midfielder. So this was the first news a few hours ago, 6 hours ago, as per Inter Extra here. Before that, there was nothing. Then, of course, at that time, I read it. I didn't even react to it. I was like, yeah, I like this guy. I really like Manu Kone. I think he is one of the best midfielders in Serie A, one of the best performers last season, even in the stinky Roma team, especially we're talking about the first half of Roma season. Went about my day. I went to play squash with my friend, came back, and more news came out. And now we're coming from France, so the country of origin of Manu Kone. Inter on advanced negotiation to sign Manu Kone from Roma. The club would like to finalize a deal for less than 50 million euros. Kone obviously is open to joining Inter. Then we continue. Gazzetta. Their price tag is completely different to the one mentioned before, because if Inter are considering the opportunity and will be open to spending 30 million euros, then yes, we are wasting our time, wasting our breaths talking about this. Roma will not sell him for 30 million euros or thereabouts. This is ridiculous. But that's another at least confirmation. Then Fabrizio Bozin, the insider, let's say, of Inter News, he says Inter's interest for Manu Kone is real. There's been contact with his entourage for 10 days now, so this is not something new. And Inter's evaluating a change in strategy, as mentioned before by Di Marzio, to target a new midfielder instead of what I'm guessing he's talking about, change of strategy away from Ademola Lookman. Nico Schira says Roma asked for 45 to 50 million euros to sell Kone. And then another French source, L'Equipe, Inter's been talked for Kone for several days, so similar to the one before. Financial figures have not yet been confirmed, but talks are progressing. Constant contacts here from a different source between Roma and Inter over this potential move. Fabrizio Romano, some of you guys consider him the best. He's saying Inter direct contact with Roma to ask the conditions of Manu Kone, and the 2 clubs are in talk for evaluation. And again, Di Marzio later on said Inter set to offer 40 million plus bonuses to sign Manu Kone from Roma. So yeah, basically that is Ademola Lookman money. And then he continues that after the Lookman store, Inter's changing the budget, shifting the budget to the French midfielder. Nico Schira says Kone has a contract worth 4 million. A contract 4 million, I'm guessing net, is ready for the France internationals. Inter would obviously benefit from growth decree from this, if I am correct. And that is the news. And now let's discuss it. Yes, I do like this. You guys know we've been talking about this Lookman thing. Lookman is something Inter need in general, but it wasn't a planned thing. Inter weren't looking to buy Lookman, but his agents, his entourage made it known that he is available. He wants to leave Atalanta. We tried to make it happen. Clearly, it's not happening. I predicted on Martino Pucci's channel yesterday. I put my balls on the line to say that Inter would pull it off. Let's see, probably not. But as I've also said, in pre-season, how many times has Kiva played the 3-4-2-1? It's been 3-5-2 pretty much all the time. And I am not wanting to change the formation for Zalewski and Thuram or Frattesi or Lautaro or someone behind the striker. Like that is not enough for us to change the formation for those types of players. Unless, obviously we're chasing game, we need something different, but we've got the options already. Plus, you buy Lookman. If you change into 3-4-2-1, then you also need a different midfield. You need a different double pivot because we've seen it. Barella, Hakan. We know Barella is the certain, right? Barella is the one. Next to him, can Sucic play that role? He does play double pivot with Modric in the national team, but we've seen him like in his early outings. He's great going forward, but that discipline in the back and ball winning doesn't seem to be his strong point. Mkhitaryan, obviously, I don't think that could work in the double pivot. Frattesi, he can't be the deeper one for sure. We talked a few weeks back about Edison from Atalanta, but it has to be that type of profile, someone that is athletic, ball winner, duel winner, but also ball carrier. Because once you play 3-4-2-1, the way you progress the ball, guys, changes. You don't have the build-up, the same build-up anymore. You don't have the three midfielders spreading, Hakan coming deep as a centre-back. Then it changes because you want to keep your wingers, the two guys behind the strikers or the CAMs, whatever you want to call them, the 2 10s. You want to keep them high. Maybe one of them drops a little bit deeper, but then you have less midfielders to build up with. So you need players that are able to transition the ball from defense or edge of your box to the edge of their box. That's what Edison can do. That's what Manu Kone can do. That's what people in different teams can do for them with their athleticism. Guys like Anguissa for Napoli. Almost every big team in Italy has a player like that. Napoli have Anguissa. Milan have Yusuf Fofana. Roma, Manu Kone. Atalanta, Edison. Juve, Kefren Thuram. Inter are the only team that were kind of missing that profile. Frattesi was supposed to be that guy. At Sassuolo, he kind of was that, but he's not really taking that step, or he's even taking a step back actually on the ball, the way he carries the ball, the way he handles the ball. He treats it like a hot potato. So Inter are missing that profile in midfield, and that someone like Manu Kone, I would give him the keys right next to Barella in the 3-4-2-1 to play. And of course, then we still do need that centre back. But as in, if you ask me, Manu Kone or Lookman, because Manu Kone can also play as a mezzala, then I say Manu Kone, because I am actually quite happy with how our attack is looking at the moment, with Boni coming, with Esposito, with Thuram hopefully better or more consistent than last year. And big difference, guys. People keep forgetting we had basically a half fit or 70% fit Lautaro for pretty much the first 3 or 4 months of the season. This season, hopefully we should be getting fully fit Lautaro from the start like we did in the Seconda Stella season. And continuing on Manu Kone, we're not talking about a scrub. We're not talking about a scrub at all. This is his FB ref compared him to the top 5 league players around Europe in the last 1 year. Look how high he ranks for pass completion, long, fouls drawn with his ball carrying, goal creating actions from take on. Well, that's very low, but it puts him high in terms of other midfielders. Fouls drawn, pass completion in general, pass completion medium. So this guy is not just athletic, he's very good and neat and tidy on the ball. Carries into the final third, so that dribbling, that ball carrying ability, take-ons attempted, progressive carries, successful take-ons. In all of these, he's in the top 10 to 11th percentiles in Europe. Top numbers, top stats that no Inter midfielder is anywhere near this. Yeah, really good profile that I'm happy with. But again, is this realistic? Why is Sharma making the video? This is probably not going to happen. We didn't even manage to get Lookman. So this year, go back and watch my budget video, guys. We have money to spend. If Inter don't spend it, then we can definitely complain, make protests outside Oak Tree into HQ that these guys dicked us around this year, because we have the money to spend, we have the budget space, we have extra revenues have come in this year. We have money to spend. This is possible. Lookman and Kone is not possible because in reality, both of them actually make sense. It would be Kone, so you can play the double pivot to accommodate for a Lookman. But Kone also works, as I said, in the 3-5-2. But then Inter, still the key remains, guys. We know selling. So if Kone comes in, then how many midfielders are we? Aslani, Zielinski, Hakan, Barella, Sucic, Mkhitaryan. Yeah, that's 6 midfielders there, right? Oh, am I wrong? I mean, let me just quickly have a look, because that is a big issue that Inter are they need to sort out. You can't have that many midfielders. I know we all want it. Like, yeah, that doesn't matter, Sharma. Like, that is a little bit overblown. And in terms of budgetary, if you do want to also try to bring in the for the positions, you need to make sure. Yeah, so we have. I'm just double checking for my sanity. Yeah, I was right. Oh yeah, you can ask kind of, I guess, kind of Zalewski in there. So let's say Zalewski, Mkhitaryan, Zielinski, Frattesi, Barella, Aslani, Sucic, Haka. Oh bloody hell, that's 8. So yeah, Zielinski, Aslani, those two definitely need to go. Zielinski for his high salary, Aslani just because of, general squad numbers and Ozil announcing that he needs to go. At least 2 guys do need to make room if this does happen. But this does move the needle. This guy elevates Inter's midfield, whether it's in a double pivot or 3 midfield. And of course, weakens Roma. And yeah, this is a guy that is also, becoming a regular for the France national team. Already has played with Marcus Thuram, got that French connection. Benji Pavard. So maybe Tico Thuram is putting in a good word. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on this breaking news. Again, is it happening or not? I don't know. What I can tell you is that when multiple sources do talk about it, it means there is something concrete. Roma do need to sell, by the way, as well. One question you may have: why would Roma sell him? Roma, you guys, Inter fans, should know what it's like being under financial fair play settlement agreement, FFP. It means you can spend, but you need to make that money straight back. You can't have losses, or you can have losses up to 30, 40 million max over a certain period. Otherwise, you get fined, or you get squad restrictions, which Inter used to have. So Roma have bought some players already this summer. They bought Wesley, the Brazilian wingback. They brought in Evan Ferguson. They brought in that midfielder from France. So they spend some money. They have to make it back somehow. And there's not too many Roma players that are in demand outside of Manu Kone. So they do need to sell, but obviously they're not going to sell him for cheap. And it's definitely not going to be an easy one, but let's see how it happens. I would be happy if this happens. You let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Ciao ragazzi, Forza Inter, Ale Inter.